Tara Troopers, it's me, Tara. I'm here covering Love is Blind Season 8, episodes like 9 through 12. So I know I've done the reactions all the way through up episode 8, but it's just paying the editors and not getting as many views on these reactions. It's like putting me into debt versus if I had more views, I'd be able to like break even and that would keep me going. And I know like some people are going to be like, you should just do it for the money. I'm like, bro, I can't do it for credit card debt either. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying my best because I know how to edit, but I just don't have time because I'm at the Real Rejects a lot. Anywho, I hope that you guys still like this video. Comment. Tell me what you think of my thoughts. Tell me. I haven't gotten to the reunion episode though yet. I'm going to do a different reaction on that because the reunion tends to have a lot more drama. Versus these episodes, I was kind of bored. And when I was watching it on my iPad, I timed it 2 times speed because I was like, dude, they're eating up time and doing these like boring pickup shots. And I think it's just because they're low on couples. And I assume it has to do with like Chris Colin being sued a couple times for like bad working practices with Love is Blind or whatever. And so they haven't been as dramatic, but let's just get into this. So at first on my notes, I put Ben and Sara. Anytime I'd see them, I'd be like, boring. They're perfect. They're always laughing. Skip it. But then when they were in the outside area where Sara was talking to him about, she had seen his pastor on a thing talking about LGBTQ and gender identity. And she was like, how do you think they view these things? And he was like, I don't know. And it was like, okay, but you go to this church. You don't know? I think that he was lying because he didn't want to tell Sara that that church that he goes to is conservative, sort of like he is also conservative. Definitely, I think a little more than she is. So I think his I don't know was a way to get out of it. And so that is where I started to go, I saw a reaction and was like, I don't know. Okay. And then that's what I'll do. I'll do the recaps and I'll talk about the wedding, but I'll do each couple. So with them, I was like, yeah, boring, perfect. But then they go to get married and she says no. And she doesn't really tell him why. He like doesn't get it, right? He's probably just like lost. And the second she gets into the car, not the second, but she's like, this sucks. He still wants to date her. But she was like, when I asked him in the pause about Black Lives Matter, he didn't have anything to say. And that really bothered her. Don't you guys remember? She went back into the girls' room and was like, I don't know if I can continue dating him. He didn't have anything to say about it. And she's obviously very liberal. And I thought at that point that she was just going to be like, okay, cut it off. Bye-bye. But she did not. So I was very surprised by that I'm like, wait, that was bugging you so bad, Sara. And then you guys had conversations about him being conservative. Wow. What was I trying to say? Conservatism? That's not even a word. Him being conservative, it got her like a little like, And also, anybody who goes to church and prays, great. But I could tell that I'm like, it's not Sara's vibe. And Ben has people all around him. They're constantly praying. And I remember at the wedding on Sara's face when the pastor goes, and let us pray. I was like, nope, not for Sara. This is how it's going to be. And I think that she probably didn't have a problem with it, but I think that's why she said wavelength. We're not on the same wavelength because that's not really her vibe, right? Like I think if she had been part of his life and they were constantly, will you pray with me? And she's not in it, it's kind of weird, right? It's a little weird. And you could tell when she was at church, she was fine, but like she seemed like she's not engaged into it, right? And she definitely was not into it in the wedding. She was probably the only one who did not close her eyes and like bow her head. She was just like, I'm like, yeah, okay, girl, I get it. Like, it's not her vibe. So I'm not surprised that they went there. Well, I was very surprised, actually, because they gave us really no clue that they were going to go their separate ways. Like, I thought for sure, like, oh, it's fine. They just love me because they're constantly like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and like laughing and smiling, that I thought for sure they were going to get married, and they're not. So I can't wait to watch the reunion. I'll talk about that after I watch it. Let's skip to Daniel and Taylor. They're boring and in love. That was the note I wrote down. Boring and in love. Like, there's no real drama there. They work well together. Their parents like each other. They're doing a Christmas photo shoot to make ornaments. And that said to me, the second I saw that, I was like, they're going to get married, because they're saying we're going to make these for the wedding. Right? For all the guests. I'm like, they're putting money into this. So that said to me right away, they're going to get married. And they're very cute. I think they're awesome for each other. I'm really glad that she didn't have like a flashback. Oh, let me move this table a little bit. There we go. I'm really glad that she didn't have like a flashback of the Christmas card debacle where she thought it was him. Remember? That she wasn't like,
oh my God, oh God. And she looks at him and they're like, smile. And she's like, oh God, I still think you're that guy with the dog and the drink who followed me and unfollowed me.
Like, I'm really glad that didn't happen, you know, and they're in love. They're together. It's great. Oh my God. You want to know who makes me mad? Really mad?
Dave.
Oh, God. Dave. I just wanted
to keep yelling at the TV and be like,
Dave, let it the F go. What is wrong with you, brah?
And I didn't trust him. I could tell his vibe was off. Every freaking episode, how could she not tell? On the freaking yacht, on their honeymoon, he goes, how do you feel about me meeting Molly? Because, you know, I will. It's going to happen. And Lauren's just so nice and chill about it. She's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, how are you not reading into this, Lauren? This is freaking weird. If I was engaged to someone and they were bringing up somebody else from the pods and was like, how are you going to feel when I meet Molly? I'd be like, why are you even thinking about Molly? We are engaged. What the F, bro? And then continually after that, he didn't seem very reassuring or that into Lauren. He just didn't. And then the whole debacle about her dating someone a week before, and he's all torn up about it. I was like, bro, let it go. She's single. She was dating someone. Big freaking deal. And the fact that he didn't let her get to like an even playing field with her friends to just like, let me meet them and I'll explain. It was a little weird at the end though, when they went to the theater, that Lauren was like, a week before we hooked up. And I was like, okay, she was maybe holding that in and not like giving him all of that information. Maybe she could have said that earlier, but still, it's a week before. She's not thinking about this guy. And I'm just like, why can't he let it go? If you really love her, you'd let it go. And if you really loved her, you'd let her meet your friends and you'd go, she's great. Let's not worry about this guy, right? Let's not worry about this guy if this is the girl I'm gonna marry, right? Dumb. Like, I was so mad at him. I was like, bro, shut the F up about it. What's your problem? Like, he's just like, I've been single for 2 years and like, it's just really weird that like you were dating another guy before me. And it hurts my ego. And I'm like, you have way too much of an ego for anybody right now, Dave. Like, please go away. Go away. Like, truly, I would like not be able to handle him because that's absurd to me. And I already didn't really like him. You guys know from all the other recaps, I was like, I don't even like Dave really that much. I never trusted him because he comes from the plastic surgery world and he's like, I like a certain type of woman. And I thought for sure when he met Molly at the thing, when they're all hanging out, that because remember when he first got to the bar, he goes, well, I didn't even know Molly was here. Give me another drink so I can, just kidding. And we all know what he's going to say. He's like, so I can like go flirt with her or go talk to her or whatever. And then Molly meets him. But after she girl coded it with Lauren, they had a convo. And Molly was like, why? Like, wait, he didn't give a letter that Lauren wrote from her heart to his sister. Because Dave's always like, my sister didn't want this, and my sister didn't want to get married. And like, my sister doesn't control my life, but my sister. I'm like, bro, your sister does control your life, and or you're using this as an excuse and is making your sister look psychotic. Like, I'm like, dude, you and your sister, there's something, come on now. Like, what? You're how old and your sister's like running your life? It's weird. It's also very disrespectful, in my opinion, that Lauren wrote a letter from the heart and he did not give it to his sister. Why would you not give it to your sister? Why? And also, why are you not fighting to like clear your fiance's name? Number one, you know she's a fabulous person. So why would you not be like, here, she's actually great. Even if you don't want to marry her, even if you're not fully there, Dave, you could still be like, guys, calm down about Lauren. I'm not fully there, but she is actually an awesome person. She dated before she came on Love is Blind, but also she talked to him about his latest Hinge date, the guy she was dating. She very specifically said it's more like friends with benefits type of situation. It's not like they were together. And she did say when they were in the apartment, I should have ended it earlier, which then he spiraled and he's like, well, you said you should have ended it. So it was a relationship. And I'm like, bro,
let it go.
like, seriously? He got on my nerves. And of course, I was glad when Molly was like, yeah, so like, why didn't you fight to have her meet your family? Like, that's weird. Are you in love with her? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, why wouldn't you do that? And I forget what it all happened. She asked him some really great she asked him some really great, oh my God, she asked him some really great questions. Can I not talk anymore? I don't know. At that party, I loved how Molly was questioning him. I was like, hell yeah. And then she gets up and she's like, yeah, well, good luck. She's like, because Lauren's my number one. Like, she's my number one, and like walks away from him. And I was like, yes, dude. I was so glad about that because honestly, I think if Molly had approached him in a different way, he would have flirted with her. And do y'all remember the information from Molly that she saw a girl all over him at the bar? And I was upset that Molly didn't confront him about that on camera. But whatever. I bet we'll get to that in the reunion. Yeah, I hope we do. And I'm like, I bet you that's true because he was out till 3. I bet you he knew for a long time he wasn't 100% in on Lauren. And he made this a huge, awful thing and made Lauren feel so bad and look so bad just to be like, I can't do it. Except I know that he probably thought I can't do it even without that stuff. He's an idiot. I literally can't with that guy. And then, of course, after he's drunk, you can hear him slurring his words. After he's drunk at the bar, he wants to talk to Lauren. And he misses. You know how people you get drunk, you start making phone calls, right? You start doing drunk dials. He did a drunk dial in person at the bar with Lauren. And I'm really glad that Lauren was like, I think we're past that, because I thought for sure, I was like, if Lauren doesn't realize he's drunk and she gives him another chance right now, I'm going to be upset. Because his pickup after he broke up with her was like, this is right. This was right. This was the best decision. Like, do not go back to Dave, and whoever dates him, I hope you have, I don't know, either as big of an ego as him and y'all could just be like egotistical together, or you don't mind that he's like kind of absurd. I don't know. He gets on my freaking nerves. That's it. He gets on my nerves. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then I wrote my notes. Ben, what happened with the girl? Because I agreed with Sara when she was questioning him. Sorry, I'm going back to Ben and Sara, but like real quick, when she was questioning him, like, why is this girl crying if it was 4 years ago? And he was like, I don't know. I'm like, I also was like, a little bit fishy. We'll probably find out the reunion. Monica and Joey, but I put Nicole, his sister, because her sister. I do not like her. She's funny. I thought in the later episodes, I was like, she's funny. And that got me a little bit more on her side. But the fact that she was like, I never thought you'd be getting married before me. I don't know. His energy is just like a lot for you. And like, even when they were about to get married, she was like, she said something like negative. And I just didn't like the way she was operating with Monica, her sister. I thought she was just jealous. And I was like, dude, can't you just be happy for your sister? Like, what the F? And even in her like, oh yeah, she said, Joey's kind of grown on me. Although like when they got their pictures taken, she made it seem to Joey that she like liked him now. Right? Like, I just thought that, I just thought that Nicole, Monica's sister, I get it, that she's protective. I understand that family can be protective. I also think that they can be happy for you at the same time. I think it's possible. And Monica just kept like pushing back. And I wanted to be like, dude, let it go. And like, stop being jealous of your sister that she's getting married before you. Like, who cares, dude? Who cares? Honestly. And then I was stunned.
I lost my mind when Monica said no.
I was like, what? What? Oh my God. But also, Joey's vows? I'm glad, like, you're my buddy. I'm really glad I did this with you. I don't blame her, because she was basically saying if he had said in his vows that he chooses me 100%, wants to do this with me, she would have said yes. And like, Joey did not say that at all. And then he seemed a little shocked, but then he also was like, I agree. It's okay. Another hug. And I was like, this is weird. Another hug. It just seemed immediately so friendly, right? Sorry, I was feeling a bit parched. It just immediately went to like friend vibe, and then it was so weird when they walked out, and then they were like, okay, bye, and it was like a side hug, and she just like left right away. Just like said bye. I was like, this is so weird. Like, so weird. It's almost like, I don't know. Dude, I don't know. I'm stunned by it, and I don't blame Monica. I don't think Joey was ready, and I think that she does deserve. I think she does deserve more, and she does deserve someone who is like, dude, I like you so much. I'm 100%. Like how Daniel is into Taylor. Like that's what they need, right? I'm not surprised. I think Joey's great. I just don't think he's ready to be married, right? Like, Virginia and Devin, dude. Okay, number one, prenup it up. I'm pro prenup. I'm like, yeah, come on now. If you got money or I do, which it won't be me, it'll be them, but they come in and they're like, I want to keep my funds. I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, separate account anyway, right? And then if we end up getting divorced, then you take your stuff, I take mine. Like, it's not a big deal. I was stunned. Like, literally, I was
Shocked.
In awe. And like,
Oh my God. When she was like, I'm not ready.
I was like, oh my God, what? You're not ready? All your freaking pickups are like, I'm just so glad he's the best man. And it's just such a blessing. Like, wait, what? But, when they were in bed and she was like, oh, well, how do they vote? And he was like, conservative. Also, he had nothing to say about the abortion thing. He kind of was like, yeah, I'm with you on that. But like, well, but then she was like, well, how do you vote? He didn't really want to say it. He just said, I think he's going with like more conservative, and she's obviously votes Democratic. And when he asked her, do you vote with your faith in mind? I would also be offended if someone was basically saying that if you vote Democratic, you're not voting with faith. That's basically what he was saying. Also, I'm like, how did
you guys not talk about this in the pods? How did this not come up?
because I feel like that's the biggest thing. Well, oh God, besides the check part, I was like, bro, because you know what? I think because he's conservative, that maybe when money comes in, he's like, oh, this goes into like, he'll take care of it. And the fact that he did not tell her that they got a check for their wedding, that he was like keeping it a secret. I don't know if he would have just utilized it for him because he has debt. She doesn't. She's doing very well for herself, right? And there's obviously, it was a little uneven. That didn't bother Virginia. But the fact that she said that at the end, she was like, we got to check, and he never brought it up. I waited to see if he would. I'm like, yep, I get it. I'd probably walk away too. Number one, you're conservative and we're not going to vote the same way. So we're not going to support the same rights, right? Like LGBTQ, people should equality, abortion rights, stuff like that. And he's going to be way on the other end of the spectrum. And then how do you like raise your kids? Like, I'm just like, why didn't y'all talk about this? But then on top of that, the money thing, that would bug the shite out of me. That, like, I'm really surprised. Here is what I think should have happened on the show, except I think like maybe because the show got like sued a few times, like that's why it can't be as dramatic, because they like, I don't know, but I'm like, why didn't she confront him with that on camera and be like, why didn't you tell me about the wedding check? Like, bro, like ask him on camera. I'm like so curious. Like why? Right? Like what the F, dude? That was the most shocking one because all of the family came in and said hi to Virginia, including his mom, and everyone was like, what? They were, it was like, and then I felt really bad for Devin's family because they got all the way to the end. She's like, welcome to the family, right? All this stuff. And then Virginia's like, I can't do it. It's just, it's sad, right? I felt bad for him and his family, even though I really understand why she walked away. And also I'm like, in the pod, you should be talking about politics, so that this isn't the thing that divides you, right? And Sara, when she was in the pod, should have trusted her instincts when it came to Ben not having anything to say about like right away about equality or about Black Lives Matter. For me, I'm like, I know how Sara kept fighting, like, well, he came back the next day, like right away. And it was like, of course, I'm 100% about equality. And like, I would never fight you on that. I'm like, I would still think it's weird because if somebody asked me, I would say it right away. Right? Of course, I support LGBTQ, all of it, gender identity. I'm very liberal, right? Like if you agree with these things, you would go, yeah, I'm with that. Like right away, you wouldn't need to like sleep on it. And I think that like Ben, being a conservative, that he had to sleep on it because of how his church like views things, right? Especially in her bringing up that video and stuff. That I'm like, he had to sleep on it. And I'm like, Sara should trust her God a little bit for in the beginning instead of like going through this whole rigmarole, but it's fine. I think, let's see, am I missing anything? Hold on. I just want to look at my notes. Yeah, I think that's all of my notes that I took for all of these. So I can't wait to watch the reunion. I will also do like a recap of the reunion and give you my reaction to it. Let me know your thoughts about other couples that did not tie the knot, which were so many. Let me know what you think. Like, and about like Dave's sister, Monica and Joey, and Ben and Sara, and like Virginia and Devin, and the prenup and politics. Like, I don't know. I mean, you don't let politics in the comments section. We don't need to go ham on that. I'm just saying, let me know your thoughts, like what you think about these breakups. I'm curious. I can't wait to watch the reunion. And I love you guys so much. Thanks for joining me. I will see you. Oh, don't forget to watch Traders UK with me. I just started it. It's a lot of fun. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one.